Hey guys, welcome back to The Interceptor, and we are here with another war video. So today, ISO8A is taking on Stella Deuce, or who we just call Stella usually. And we have the simple team of Quake, Falcon, and Moleman. And in this war, we are actually going to be getting revenge against a fight that I died to. Now, I did not die to it this season. I believe the season I died to this fight was season 27? Maybe it was season 26. It was one of those two. But if you guys have been following me and watching my war videos for a while, you'll probably remember the war I died to this fight. And actually, it was the last time that I took this fight that I died to it. And obviously, these officers here had absolutely no clue, so they just assigned a counter that made sense. And objectively, it is the best counter to that fight. Actually, there's one better counter, but it's so unbelievably niche that it is not really worth mentioning, which is using Gambit for the fight. Yeah, insane. It's really weird, and it takes much longer, but it's unbelievably safe. So today we have in section 1 just this Overseer, and he's on just like a diversity node. This is the Hit Me I Dare You static defense node, and when Moleman is under 10 monster mass, you can actually counter Overseer's special attacks because he can't auto block you. So I'm just going to land 2 heavy attacks right off the start of the fight, get into my frenzy, and then I'm going to intentionally not parry, and this guy's going to go down pretty quickly. And then right there, I did actually take a hit to the face because I was late countering, and I actually pushed him to a special 2. Now, I've never baited Overseer's special 2, so I had no idea what it was. So I was just planning to fully block it in case there was a projectile that I didn't want to miss or to risk evading. I also did not have an invulnerability boost on for this fight, so I was just playing really safe. Excuse me. But now I know his special 2. It's pretty easy. I've always just baited his special 1 because I just found that to be the best way to fight him. And here we trigger Frenzy again, and he's going to go down very shortly. I believe I actually throw this special 1. Yes, I do. And this is going to kill him. So there we go. So just under a minute, and I boosted like really light. Like if I had died to that fight, I would have gotten in major trouble, but I knew I wasn't dying to that fight. So now we're going to go until 12 hours later because it took that long for me to get cleared. I don't know what happened, but they didn't clear the mini bosses. The one mini boss that was in my way until 5 minutes before I did these fights. So we're going to be boosting up just with the 20% here. And I'm throwing on the 200% skill boost. It actually doesn't affect this fight. It's for a future fight. And also, I realized that it doesn't affect any fight because the fight that I use that for, it's impossible to gain power. So I literally just threw away skill boosts. So this is a Wasp on Rage and my first medium crits. Now, I am completely unboosted with no suicides and a medium crit. So for the rest of the fight, I'm going to only use light attacks because I was kind of worried, to be honest. But I actually do know the spacing for Wasp, that you can counter her special 1 with a light attack. So you can just go in and with 4 light attacks. Sometimes, if you're just barely too far back, your second light attack is going to be the one that connects, and that's going to happen, I believe, 2 or 3 times in this video. But it's relatively safe. You just use only light attacks. You can hit into her block with a medium attack, but I didn't really do that. I think I do that near the end, but not really at all. And actually, 100% of the damage we're going to take in this fight is from high ground. There was a little tiny bit of damage from the parries, but that's probably amasses to like 3% over the entire fight, whereas high ground is almost all of it. So right there, I probably should have hit into the block to push to a special 1, would have saved me the high ground damage, but I don't really care. And right there, that's a perfect example. Sometimes your first light attack doesn't connect, but you can just go in for your second one because the timing is safe enough. And then right there, Wasp was about to die, so I did use a medium attack. It didn't crit, but critting on the first hit of the fight on a medium and triggering Rage, that was slightly alarming, but completely fine. So now we go into our only Quake fight of the war, which is going to be this Bishop. The nodes on here are Power Focus 2 and Aggression Prowess, and there's really nothing to do with this fight. I made a huge mistake using that 30% boost, by the way, and you're going to see why later. That was a massive mistake, and I actually shouldn't have used that 20% attack boost either. But it's fine, and then here I go pissing away skill boosts. Those literally cannot affect a single fight in my entire war. Like, it is impossible for them to affect any fight. Any fight. It's impossible. And yet I do that. So you guys know the way that I Quake Bishop is I dex into my own corner before I start quaking, and that is because he can actually whiff a light attack if you're in the middle of the screen, but he can't whiff a light attack if you're in your own corner. So that's why we did that. And it's pretty simple. This is a perfect Quake fight. I believe over the course of the fight I parry twice, which like ever so slight mistake, but actually like most of the damage gets reflected to him, and I take like 400 damage total between the two parries. So yeah, that's 100 damage, and that's the first parry. It happens one more time. I'm not going to torture you by making you watch this whole fight. Normally I speed up Quake fights, but there was really nothing to do in this fight, and to be honest I forgot. So we're just going to speed right through it right till the end. Right here. I'll just stop there. And there we go. Yeah, I literally lost like 400 health the entire fight from 2 parries total. So there you go. And that is going to be the end of that. That is the end of Quake for this war. And now we have the only Falcon fight, because I only have 4 fights this war. So like I said, that thing got taken down literally 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes before I recorded this. So this is going to be a thing on the stun reflection node. I was just checking my boost to make sure I still had my invulnerability boost, and I did. Normally I use like 3 or 4 ray boosts per war. This war I got away with only 1. And this fight's going to be almost perfect. I am going to make a mistake and I'm going to parry later on, but it's barely going to cost me health. I think I lose like 4% health on that or something like that. But yeah, you'll see this is my first cycle of locked on, and he's already at 59%. Now he's not throwing special attacks. I'm going to get him to throw a special attack right here. That's the first one. And then when you're not locked on, you don't necessarily have to hit him, but what you do have to do, you absolutely have to do, is you have to push him back. So I was hitting just to push him back, but if he had been blocking at that time, I would have just hit into his block to push him back. So it doesn't matter what you do, just that you do one of the two. And I realize at this point I'm not going to kill in this locked on cycle, so I'm going to have to wait until the next one. The way I like countering his heavy is I let him do 2 hits of the heavy, and then I counter right before the 3rd triggers. And it may look like I'm close to getting hit, but I'm actually extremely familiar with the timing, so there's no risk whatsoever. Here I knew that the special 2 would be unblockable because I had him at 15 rock stacks, but I actually did that intentionally. In case I didn't kill in this locked on cycle and I would have to hit him, there would be no downside. He wouldn't go unstoppable if I'd hit him in the face rather than on the block. But yeah, that fight goes down. Looked like the world's safest fight. It looked super safe. And that's the end of my war. That's it. It's just 4 fights today. So very, very quick war video. And ISO8A, the war is not 100% over. The current score is we are at 130 attacker kills, they are at 150. We are at 9 deaths and they are at 12. So we would have to die 3 times in the last 20 fights to lose. We're also winning on fight time, so we would actually have to die 4 times. So for right now, it is most likely a win. If it changes, I will change the description and I will put a comment in the comment section and pin it saying what happened. But yeah, that is actually it for my war. Super happy to get revenge against that fight that I died to. I just have memories of that fight being so much harder. I don't remember what global it was that I took it under. It wasn't stubborn. I think it was protect, but also ability accuracy bypasses protect. So I never triggered protect in that fight. with Falcon. But yeah, we are now 6-3. My death total is still 3. PSR this season is 46 out of 49, which is 93.8% or 94%. My overall goal for the season is to get up to 95%, which means I have to get up to 94.5, which is very doable as long as I have like average of 4 to 5 fights over the next 3 wars. So yeah, that is going to be it. Also, my deathless streak is now up to 20, making it 3.5 wars since I've died. But yeah, that is going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.